Did you know that the recruitment industry is growing at an exponential rate? The global recruitment and staffing market is valued at $716 billion as of 2024 and is expected to more than double by 2031 to $1.5 trillion. That's a compound annual growth rate of almost 10%. Don't take my word for it. You can check out verifiedmarketresearch.com and fact check those numbers. One thing is for sure, that's a lot of cake. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to elbow your way in and get your hands in the dough and on some of that moist and delicious growth. Here at sevenfigurestaffing.com, we've used our recipes to help build dozens of 7- and 8-figure staffing and recruiting businesses in just about every industry and niche that you can think of. And now I'd like to show you 12 creative ways to get your agency on the growth hack fast track so you can cut yourself a nice, healthy slice of that 1.5 trillion. By the way, number 11 is going to absolutely blow your mind, probably completely change the game for you. And that's why I saved it for lucky number 11. So here we go. Number 1, the best way to compete quickly as a new player in an established marketplace is by niching down. You can make extremely quick gains and onboard new clients extremely quickly by shrinking your prospect pool so that you can immediately become the biggest fish in the pool. If you're trying to swim in an ocean with the whales and the sharks, and the companies that have been there since like 1984, you're going to get ignored or you're going to get eaten alive. But if you're the biggest minnow in a small little pond, you're going to get a lot of attention and you can decide how big you want that pool to be that you play in. So start out by playing in small pools and making waves there first. Number 2, if you've already got clients and too many orders to fill on your own, you should be outsourcing your sourcing. All you got to do is write the messaging and train the offshore sourcers. What you want to teach them to do is be like these day traders who spend your in-mail credits in the wisest way possible. What they do is they spend their time on LinkedIn determining how to invest your in-mail credits. A lot of times you can get good sourcers for like $3 to $6 an hour, but what I would definitely recommend you do is to get the best bang for your buck, make sure you help them optimize their LinkedIn profiles with like professional AI headshots, some good content. You want to update their location to reflect the region that you're servicing. And the goal is to have these folks generate candidate opportunities, and then your internal recruiting team can take the ball and run with it and build on the relationships with the candidates and manage the candidates through the process. Number 3, multiple business development channels. Your business development strategy should not just be focused on one channel. There should be absolutely nothing left up to chance. You should be completely forcing the market to give you business. Your marketing should be relentless and attacking from various different angles all at one time. So let's talk about what those channels should be. First, you should be doing one-to-one marketing. This is where you are targeting your top 20 companies that nail your perfect customer avatar, and you are personalizing your messaging specifically for their pain points. Second, you should be doing bulk marketing by email. You should be doing cold email where you take all of your one-to-one activity and then you 100x it and get it out to thousands and thousands of prospects. 3, you should be doing automated LinkedIn marketing. You should be using LinkedIn automation tools that automatically connect, automatically send follow-ups, and automatically send an in-mail when the prospect is not connect. And all of this should be happening in the background while you're running your desk. Fourth, you should be making calls. You should be either following up on your best leads, you should be calling your top 20 avatar prospects, and you should be just like opening up Google Maps and doing searches on every company that hits your niche. And you should be calling and marketing talent to them constantly. If you actually do all of these activities, you are going to explode. There's going to be absolutely nothing that can stop you. It does not matter what economy you're in. You will be unstoppable. Number 4, market your inventory constantly. You want to put the profiles of the best candidates that you are meeting and building relationships with into bulk email campaigns and get those out to relevant audiences. They should function like nurture campaigns that are dripped out with a specific cadence from an email marketing platform. Number 5, market candidates to existing clients even when there are no relevant orders. I have made a huge amount of placements this way. I basically made a living doing this. So when you have pretty big clients that you know are hiring, don't just wait around waiting for them to give you orders. No, just go ahead and create the orders yourself. Remember, a high percentage of the time they're going to be using multiple agencies, and the best way for you to take the orders away from the other agencies are to do it proactively. When I have a candidate that I know is a good for a specific client of mine, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to tell them about the candidate regardless of whether or not there's an active order on the books. If you know how to pitch good talent to your active clients, you will be surprised at how often this works. It works for me and it works for my staffing and recruiting owner clients constantly. Number 6, do references for business development. If you're in a niche where you can get like a lot of candidates, a perfect way to speak to decision makers and build rapport with them is by conducting reference checks. Just make it so that, getting reference information is just like a standard part of the candidate intake process. And then go ahead and call the references, whether or not you intend to place these candidates. It's a perfect way to have a conversation with the hiring manager. They're usually going to return your call because it's for a reference. Meanwhile, you're going to telegraph huge value that you do your due diligence on candidates. Furthermore, you're going to build rapport through this reference check process. And lastly, at the end, you can ask them additional questions that are not related to the reference, but instead in relation to their hiring and whether they use outside vendors for this function. This is going to naturally segue into you pitching your service and booking a meeting for the purpose of discovery. Number 7, hire people who can help you take back your time. Decide where you can get back the most time as the founder and visionary of your business and hire people to take those tasks off your plate ASAP. So make sure these people are smarter than you at the tasks that you want to give them, and only hire people who are 10 times better than the average employee. You want to start with the tasks that drain your energy and do not leverage your best skill sets. Number 8, build a process for everything. The value of your business is only as good as its process. The processes that you build into your business should be organized and clear enough so that you can hand playbooks over to unqualified people and they can do a reasonably good job at performing the core functions of your business. So just as an example, if you can take a Starbucks employee and mix them with your process and mix them with your onboarding and your training and convert them, and you can take all that and convert them into a successful recruiter, chances are you have a very valuable business, and that business can grow without any one special person to run it, including you. This is how you create a business that someone is going to want to buy. There has to be something left over when you take the founder away, and that something is your process. Number 9, recruit massive industry influencers to plug your services. Every industry has influencers that insiders look up to, they listen to, and they respect. These are people with podcasts, YouTube channels, Twitter accounts. They might be getting spots in business publications. Maybe they're on the news. Maybe they write in trade publications. Whatever it is, it would serve you well to incentivize them to talk about your service, right? They can become affiliates for you and refer their following to you. Number 10, identify your top 20 ideal avatar prospects and run an old school courier campaign. So remember, decision makers are getting cold emails and phone calls all day long. There's a lot of noise, but what very few are doing these days is leveraging the old school tactics. So if you really want to get in front of a decision maker, the best way is via courier. A courier winds up getting to them and it gets opened almost every single time. And it's going to separate you from all of the competitors in the space. One of my recruiting agency owner clients got into his top prospects by creating these like handcrafted mugs that he got made by local artisans. You can't just go to Walmart and get these mugs off the shelf. And what he did is he simply just put these mugs in like a nice box with a nice card, maybe some chocolates, some coffee, and he sent those off to all of his top prospects, and it worked. It worked like a charm. He's now working with a massive multi-billion-dollar company that was top on his list of prospects, and he's basically able to live and grow off of just those orders alone. Number 11, do a check-in meeting with current clients after every successful placement. You want to do like a state of the union type meeting where you just get insider information, you catch up on what's happening, on what's changed, on top priorities, new projects, on new orders, new needs. You also want to take the opportunity to get a testimonial each time on what it's been like working with you by asking how they feel the engagement is going so far. And that's pretty much always going to be extremely positive if you're doing this after a successful placement. And so this is how you're going to be able to start building your bank of testimonials and referrals that you can leverage for the future. Number 12, never, ever, ever, ever stop doing business development. Here's the thing. If you follow the rest of the advice in this list, you're going to get super busy. You're going to be inundated with orders. You're going to think it doesn't make sense to keep doing marketing. I need to focus on my orders. That's not true. If you want to grow, you never stop marketing. Marketing enables you to scale and continually replace your lesser business with better business and multiply your revenue and your profit. So those are the 12 creative ideas. Here's a bonus one. If you really want to grow exponentially fast, only take business that pays you up front. And if you want to learn how to do that, I made a whole video on the subject and you can find it right here. So check that one out and I'll see you guys in the next one.